This is the Dallas Morning News.
Eat, Drink, DFW from the Dallas Morning News is made possible by Central Market.
Hello, and welcome to Eat, Drink, DFW, the podcast from the Dallas Morning News food team. Each week, we take a look at food and drink trends in North Texas, talk about restaurants in Dallas-Fort Worth, learn some new recipes, and sometimes even get tips from you, our listeners. I'm Anna Butler, the Dallas Morning News' food editor. This week, we're taking you inside the State Fair of Texas for our annual taste test of the top 10 savory and sweet finalists and winners. So stick around. That's all coming up right after this.
Central Market is really into food. Like when we say cheese, it's in 12 languages into food. Butchers, bakers, and sushi roll makers into food. We're talking so obsessive about quality you can shop blindfolded into food. Central Market is really into food. If you are too, then let us turn your shopping list into a treasure map. Get inspired, get adventurous, or just get a chef-made dinner when you've got more taste buds than time. No place makes every meal more amazing like Central Market. Really into food. Shop now at centralmarket.com.
For the latest food and restaurant news in Dallas-Fort Worth, visit dallasnews.com/food. Also, we'd love to hear from you, so email us at eatdrink@dallasnews.com. Today, I'm joined by Claire Baller and Imelda Garcia. Sarah Blaskovich is on vacation. So today, we're going to be reliving our experience of the State Fair of Texas's opening day. We had the chance to try the top 5 savory and the top 5 sweet dishes that were finalists and winners in the Big Tex Choice Awards. We also tried the winner of the brand new Sipper category, which basically gave the fair a place to celebrate beverages. We changed things up a little bit this year. Claire, can you share more about the 2 judges that joined us last week?
This year, we had Tiffany Derry and Dino Santonicola join us. For those who aren't familiar with these 2 chefs, Tiffany Derry is, I would say, probably one of our most well-known, nationally known chefs here based in North Texas. She is behind a handful of restaurants, including Roots, Southern Table, Redici. She's also now a judge on MasterChef alongside Gordon Ramsay. Dino Santonicola, he is the chef and owner of Partenope, which has 2 restaurants, one in downtown Dallas and one in Richardson. Dino is from Southern Italy, from Naples, and he is a master of pizza. So we brought Tiffany and Dino along this year to offer their professional expertise. Both of these chefs are very familiar with food competitions on both sides of the table. And so we thought they would have great perspective, and they totally did.
And we learned that both of them had previously done cooking demonstrations at the fair, which I thought was really fun.
Yeah.
All right. So in our evaluations this year, we focused on 3 key areas: taste, execution, and value. The value one in particular meant a lot to us, just because I feel like everyone is watching their wallets. And, you know, at the rate that you're going to the fair, these foods are expensive. And so we wanted to tell you what's actually worth it to us, in our opinion, but also Tiffany and Dino's opinions, too. We're also going to share the route that we took to try all 11 of these foods, which you can find on dallasnews.com/food. We took about 5,400 steps, just shy of 2.5 miles, according to my iPhone, and we burned probably about 250 calories in the process. That does not count how much we sweat, because it was still hot.
Are you sure it was only 250 calories?
The iPhone doesn't understand humidity. All right, so we started off in the Tower Building Food Court, which is right by Big Tex, for our first 3 taste test stops. So Imelda, can you tell us about the Chill and Thrill Delight, which was the winner of the Best Taste Sweet Award?
Yeah, so this Chill and Thrill Delight is a dessert that is inspiring this Colombia Salpicón de Frutas, you know. Is this dessert with a lot of fresh fruits, and they put in it mango, pineapple, watermelon, grapes, cantaloupe, and strawberries. All of that into watermelon juice. And on top of that, they put this tiny shaved mango sorbet. Picture this as like mango sorbet spaghetti, something like that, with red boba on top of it, and it was $18.
It's very nice for the fair. I think it's still sweet, but like there are usually overly sweet desserts, and it's still refreshing, you know?
Better than I thought.
Yeah. Fruit's fresh. I mean, it's a mound of fruit underneath there.
This was a super shareable dessert, and Dino had a thought about this for his own family.
My daughter will love it. My son, not so much.
What was your take on the dish, Claire?
This one was delightfully unexpected. I was really pleasantly surprised with the amount of fruit that was in it, and it was fresh fruit. So if you're looking for a dessert that will kind of check the sweet box for you but not overdo it, this is a good one. That being said, it was a little hard for me to fully get behind. I think there were just like few components that were missing for me. The flavor of the mango sorbet didn't quite hit the mark for me. But I do think that this is probably one of the most refreshing desserts that we've seen at the fair.
It was super cold, guys. I had a brain freeze. It was, and since I have sensibility in one of my teeth, it was a nightmare. But it's really good. I mean, and the boba are really surprising because you are like savoring the sorbet and then something pops, and that's fun.
I will say it was the first thing that we tried, and it was about 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So it felt right for breakfast. And so it was a nice way to start the day.
Next up, we tried the winner of the Most Creative Award.
So these are Wagyu bacon cheeseburger deviled egg sliders. As you might imagine, that is deep fried for these beautiful, I forgot the word for egg white for a second there, for egg whites.
The sauce is good though with it. It is a little dry, but the first bite that I had was more of a surprise that it actually was still burger vibes, not egg. I don't really get egg until I get a chunk of egg white by itself, and the egg white's a little too firm. The bacon is extremely crunchy. It's giving piggy.
We were all really excited to try this one. So what it is, as Tiffany kind of broke it down, this comes with 2 sliders that have a Cajun seasoned Wagyu patty, cheddar cheese, applewood bacon, sandwiched between 2 fried egg halves that are hard-boiled. Now, the filling that usually comes in a deviled egg is not inside of that fried egg half. It is put on the burger, kind of like a sauce, so to speak. What was so funny about this moment of watching Tiffany and Dino bite into these was the shock on their face that this ate exactly like a slider.
This one was $22, and I wouldn't say that we were let down by it, but we were so excited about it that, it was a bite that I enjoyed. That being said, I did think it was a little bit dry. You definitely need the sauce that comes with it, which is a ketchup base, but isn't crazy ketchup-y in taste. It almost tastes more like vinegar. But it was one that if someone bought them and asked me to have one, I would be delighted. I just don't know if I would go buy it again myself.
If somebody gives you that, really loves you, Anna, because it's really pricey, It's $11 each.
Yeah.
And it's a tiny bite.
It's the size of an egg.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and my problem with these sliders was the texture of the egg itself. I thought everything worked until I bit solely into that fried egg, and at least mine was super tough. Tiffany explained to me that the likelihood of why that was because you have a pre-cooked egg that then gets battered and fried, and it just gets pretty tough once it hits that second cooking process.
That being said, they did a great job on the actual fry because it stayed crispy, crunchy, which was, hard to do.
And it's beautiful. It's like a little burger.
The final thing we tasted in the food court was Texas toast a la mode, and that's Tex as in big Tex, not Texas as in the state where we live. So Texas toast a la mode. This was the most expensive dessert sold among the finalists. It was $20. So was it worth it?
Do we got a winner? Do we got a winner?
She's ready to start judging now.
So basically, they've taken Texas toast and they've kind of like made like a French toast Texas toast. So it feels like they soaked it in a custard a little because it's got some give, but it's still crunchy like from a flat top grill. There's cinnamon, there's crisp.
This was by far one of the most shareable things that we had of the day. It's a massive portion, so it really did live up to its $20 price tag. It's served with Bluebell ice cream on top of it, so if it ain't broke. But I think what struck me is the simplicity of this dish. You could go really, really wrong with this very quickly if you didn't execute it well. But it's essentially glorified French toast that they actually just made like bread pudding. It had phenomenal caramelization. There's a drizzle of honey on top for added sweetness, but it wasn't too sweet the way it would have been with maple syrup.
And the crunchiness that happens from the cinnamon cereal on top, and then those like essentially what were like French toast croutons on top as well, was so good. And I think this is one of the most bang for your buck dishes we've seen at the State Fair in a little while.
Yeah, for me it was amazing because I don't have a sweet tooth. And this is not very sweet, and I love that. And the cinnamon thingies are amazing. It adds the crunch and the flavor. And if you put some ice cream, yeah.
And one more fun fact for this is that it comes from the Highland Park soda fountain. So if you remember it, it's where Weir's Plaza is now. So just kind of a classic Dallas spot that has a new life inside of the Tower Food Court building.
But can we find it? Or this is like a fair food and that's it?
It's just a fair food, and that's it. No. When we left the Tower Building food court, we didn't go too far to find the Big Tex Choice Awards Best Taste Savory Dish. So that was the crab and mozzarella arancini at the Texapolitan Pizza stand right by Big Tex.
Yeah, these rice balls include a mix of blue crab meat, mozzarella cheese, spring onion, and red bell pepper. And they are rolled in breadcrumbs and fried. Now, the price originally shared with us was 18, but when we went there and buy it, it was 20.
As an Italian man, what do you think of this arancini?
It's they are okay. I don't know about the crab mix it.
What's more traditional for you?
Well, this is more like a crab cake. That's why I got surprised a little bit, right? Because I thought there's seafood somehow.
You're right. I was really hoping when I heard about all the mozzarella, I was hoping for a pool of some sort, or like a
chili style pool.
I think that it is reminiscent of a crab cake.
I think what struck me about this dish is I hadn't familiarized myself too much with what else was in there other than crab and mozzarella. And our judges were like, oh my gosh, this is a crab cake. And looking back now, there was spring onion and red bell pepper. And I think the red bell pepper always just goes crab cake to me. It said that there was garlic, coriander, basil, lemon, and black pepper in this. And if there was anything about this dish that maybe was a little bit lacking, it was actually the flavor and the spices. And it could have done with like a little bit of flaky salt at the end. There was a marinara sauce with it, but it felt a little one note. That being said, there were 4 pieces of it, so it was shareable.
It was shareable. As you heard Dino say, he was like, this is pretty much a crab cake. And it really was. I mean, I didn't really pick up any rice that I remember in this arancini, which arancini, if it's anything, it's rice. It's a rice ball. Dino was spot on that this was really more of a crab cake. He said that it really should be called crabcini.
It was very interesting to me to watch his disappointment. Yeah.
One of my favorite parts of this dish, though, was that Tiffany and Dino missed that Claire had said that there was crab in it.
Oh, yeah.
And they looked at her and they're like, are you sure there's not something else in here? And she didn't know that they didn't hear. And so they thought they were getting like immediately food sick from something because suddenly it was like seafood vibes. And they're like, I shouldn't be tasting what I'm tasting. But it was crab and everyone was fine and everything was food safe this entire time. And it was tasty. And again, we're just getting really nitpicky on these.
Here's the thing. If you like crab, which I do, you're getting a lot of crab in these. I was expecting the opposite here. I thought we were going to get rice balls that had like a tiny hint of crab. For the price, if you look at how fair food is priced and you look at how crab is normally priced, probably a pretty good deal for how much crab you're getting. You're just not really getting arancini.
So we knocked out 3 of the 4 winners of the Big Tex Choice Awards really early on.
Yeah, we headed then to the Midway to try the Vietnamese crunch dog from the maker of the deep fried pho. Remember, the winner of 2023? And the cost was $16.
All right, so this is a marinated pork skewer. It's been dipped in panko and it has banh mi breadcrumbs on it.
I don't love that. You know how like when a liquid on a bread makes it a little gummy? I'm a texture person, so I actually expected this to be like flavor bombs. I'm not getting flavor bomb, but I do get the appeal. I love the banh mi aspect of it, and I feel like the sriracha maybe is too toned down a little. Like I need more.
We were really hoping that things would look up with this dish because we were off to a bit of a rocky start for savory dishes. Unfortunately, pretty much across the board, we were all missing more flavor, more salt, and a different textural situation going on. I think the batter was just a little too thick.
I tried with the cilantro they include, and that elevated a little bit the bite. But yeah, it was like too soft inside. It was a weird combination for me.
We were hoping that things would look up once we hit the Funway near the Ferris wheel, and they did. That's where we found Smokey John's Deli, where they are making deep fried deli tacos for $16.
These are pastrami tacos. There are mashed potatoes in here, chives, and then quote unquote a whole lot of cheese.
I like it even more past my first bite. I think my mouth was trying to get used to mashed potato in a way. It's crunchy. I don't know if I get as much cheese as they say, but the potato, I think, holds it in.
I don't know if this actually fully articulates how much we all loved this dish. It's one that grows, it builds. It also was served with a phenomenal jalapeno salsa that was made with jalapenos, garlic, avocado, and a little bit of mayo that really set it off. It's not for people who don't like spicy food. That being said, you could totally have these pastrami tacos without the salsa, and it would actually be a pretty well balanced bite still.
Agreed. These, I think, were the most appropriately seasoned thing that we tried out of all 10, at least out of all 5 of the savory dishes. We all scored these really high. I think everyone gave them a 5 on a 1 through 5 scale.
For me, it was like a 4 because, tacos. But the salsa is amazing, guys.
Especially when I give a perfect score, though, I have to go back and try it. And so I did actually go back a few days later and I tried them, and they hold up. They were that
that's
good.
to know.
Oh, good.
Anna, when you had them the second time, what were your thoughts on the meat content? That was the only note that really came up amongst Tiffany and Dino, was that they liked the fact that the pastrami was in chunks, not shredded, but there could have been more of it.
I think there might have been a little bit more when I had it the second time around. I'm going to try to go get it a third time.
Whoa. Next up was our cheapest food on this taste test. It was a sweet dish called candy lemon sour face, and it's near the fun way.
My mouth might be salivating.
Ooh, smells good.
It's probably the most unique bite we've had so far. I took a big bite. So seeing that there's an actual whole lemon inside of here was a nice surprise.
I like lemon. I like sour.
I don't think any of us were quite prepared for the fact that this is quite literally an entire lemon with the peel off. You're just biting into a lemon as if it were an apple.
I think it honors its name. It's sour face. That's what you do when you try this. It's amazing.
Dino very succinctly said, this is good if you love lemon. You've got to love lemon to love this one.
Next up, we headed towards the livestock barns, towards Nimitz Avenue for Russo's Dubai chocolate funnel fries. These are sold at more than one stand, and this sweet came from the maker of last year's cotton candy bacon.
So this right here, y'all, is capitalizing on the Dubai chocolate fad. We got pistachio cream and chocolate cream on this.
I am a sucker for a fry, and it really looks like a fry. The katsufi, pistachio cream. They're a little greasy, though.
Yeah, way greasy.
This was another thing that is highly shareable. I think if you had a group of teenage boys, I would serve this to them. It's $18. There's so many of them. We got 2 orders because we had a posse with us. We only needed 1, and they were greasy. I think they might have just been sitting in their own grease at one point. They were not freshly fried. They had cool flavors to them, but texturally it was lacking.
Up next, we stopped at the Grove area at one of the stands selling the Cookie Chaos milkshake, which won the State Fair's new Sipper category. This was a really involved milkshake. To make it, they blend cookie butter soft serve with snickerdoodles, golden Oreos, regular Oreos, and they do that for each order. Then they garnish it with whipped cream, a scoop of cookie butter, cookie dough, a Biscoff cookie, and cookie butter drizzle, and maybe some crumbled cookie things as well. There's a lot going on, and it's a $17 milkshake.
Oh, this is good.
I'm done. I mean, it definitely is giving. I don't think that it is overly it's not reading all the work that's in it and all the things. It just tastes like a really good milkshake.
I didn't know what I was facing, and it was so hot, guys, so hot. So I took a big sip, and oh my God, it was super, super sweet. My diabetes alert just went off at that point.
I didn't actually perceive it to be any sweeter than I would expect a milkshake to be. I mean, looking at it, you're like, there's no way this thing isn't sweet. Dino was a fan of it. He was not bothered by how sweet it is. He had a pretty deadpan face going into it, and then the eyebrows raised a little bit, and he goes, oh, this is good. And I think that's pretty high praise.
I mean, I love milkshakes. I love cookie milkshakes specifically, and I would pound that. But I'm also like, $17 for a cookie milkshake is a lot. And I don't know if I would get one at the fair ever again. Thinking about the price in terms of fairflation, $17 seems normal and reasonable at the fair, but I think I might just get a cookies and cream milkshake on the way home from Burger House, and it will be like $5.
I want to go on the record and say I don't think a milkshake is a drink, at least not one that should be a winner of a sipper category. When I think sipper, I was thinking like, oh, we're going to be getting something that is like, okay, you're eating all this fried food. Here's the drink that you want to get when you don't just want water and you don't want alcohol, but you want something that's like truly great and refreshing. This milkshake was good, but it is not that. It's not a refreshing drink that you just swig down.
Yeah, it is more like a liquid dessert.
Totally.
Our last savory stop was the Hans Mueller tent near the main stage. We tried the brisket and bruised stuffed pretzels, which were $18. This involves brisket stuffed into a soft pretzel and then topped with beer cheese and kosher salt.
Flavorful.
It's a good beer snack. The bread is soft. It's a good start.
So there are 2 of these, 2 in order, and I got them again when I went again. I knew that my boyfriend would absolutely love these, and he did. What they did when we went the second time, though, is they gave us a side of the beer cheese. And I think that was necessary because when we got them, I kind of felt like we needed a little bit more of the cheese. There's so much brisket stuffed into these. The pretzel was beautiful and soft, though I think one of our orders was a little bit doughy. That extra side of beer cheese, though, sent him over the edge because you can eat every single bite of it and it's not dry or anything like that.
So we ended our taste test on a sweet note with a Dubai chocolate cheesecake from Drizzle Cheesecakes. This is the stand that made the Biscoff cheesecake on a stick that won Best Taste Sweet a few years ago. This Dubai chocolate cheesecake costs $18, and it was just across Nimitz Avenue from the Hans Mueller tent.
I love it when they can crack it. I love a crack. I do. It's like, the ice cream. Now this feels Dubai. Crunchy, chocolate. It's rich.
I concur. It is rich. It's a one bite thing for me. It's super sweet, but yeah, it has like this consistency of the cheesecake and also the flavor of the Dubai chocolate. It's good.
This came different than the other drizzled cheesecakes. Usually those are usually a whole piece of cheesecake that they dunk into something and then put toppings on. This was served like a parfait on the side of a cup. And it's another one that I got again. And I took it home. And we worked on it for 3 days.
Wow.
Because it's that rich.
Okay. So I was confused by its construction when we were there trying it. Since you took it home and lived with it, were you able to understand a bit better of exactly how this was layered?
I just understood that I needed a chisel to go with it. The Belgian chocolate really seizes up, and they use it, I think, as a hard coating on the other one. So they layered it, and that was a little bit tough. It had so many fresh pistachios. I kept being like, how is this only $18? Because nuts are so expensive, so it should have been like $50 to me.
So if you're a pistachio lover, you will be pleasantly surprised by this.
All right, so we're going to go over our favorites. We're going to start with Tiffany and Dino's, and they coincidentally had the same favorites.
So one of my favorite was the Texas toast a la mode with that almost like French toast bread pudding texture with crunches of like the toast on top with the cereal and the ice cream and the honey.
I agree. It was my favorite too.
Yeah.
It was great, shareable. The value was worth it.
And it was quick to get.
It was very quick.
Execution was really quick.
Yeah.
That was good. What about
The savory wise, I loved the taco, the deli taco frying, or the fried deli taco, however you want to say it, was great.
Yeah, from Smokey John's. That pastrami was so tender and still had enough smoke and flavor. And I'll be honest, I wasn't sure about potato at first, but the potato and the crunch of the corn tortilla and the salsa that was spicy jalapeno.
It was great.
Yeah.
Those were our favorite.
Yeah, 5
No
stars.
doubt.
5 stars.
All right, so what about the two of you? Claire?
I think we all pretty much had the same favorites. Same for me. My favorite savory were the deli tacos, and my favorite sweet was the Texas a la mode, which is surprising for me because usually if a dessert doesn't have chocolate, I usually will opt to pass. And so it was really a shock to me that my favorite sweet had 0 chocolate.
I agree with everybody. The Texas toast a la mode was amazing, but the tacos, the salsa, guys, the salsa, it's heavenly.
I think it's hard because especially with the sweet category, the one that I liked the most, which was everybody else's favorite, Texas toast a la mode, was the one I wanted to like the least. It seemed so plain Jane and so simple, and so I had high hopes for all of these other things. I love Dubai chocolate. I love that flavor profile, and I was just a little let down either by the construction or the execution on a lot of things. It's just interesting to me how tried and true these simple flavors were and that they came through with the Texas Toast a la mode. The same with the deep fried deli tacos. I don't know if I had an expectation to love them the way that I did, but I'm not kidding. I will go get them a third time, if not a fourth time at the fair.
I think it just goes to show it's easy to fly a little too close to the sun with these when you're really trying to come up with something new and exciting. I don't envy it. I don't think I could do it. But if you look at the two dishes that were the top favorites, I mean, they were unique and interesting in their own way, but also they just like got the basics down really well and were delightful and a little bit safer than you'd expect.
The only thing is that you really have to bring a full wallet with you because it's really expensive this year.
All right, so Imelda brings up a pretty good point here. Prices are up this year. So we tried all 10 last year. They were $154. This year, the top 5 sweet, the top 5 savory were $174. That's $20 difference. That's a lot of money.
Also, I want to know if anyone else listening does this. Do you go to the fair and eat all 10? Or is that just us? Just us that does that.
Or are you waiting so that we can tell you what to eat so you don't have to do this either? And we do want to hear from you. So what did you try at the state fair? What did you think was worth the coupons? Tell us by emailing us at eatdrink@dallasnews.com. And that's all the time we have for today. We don't want you to miss an episode. Make sure you're following Eat Drink DFW wherever you find podcasts. Special thanks to our producer, Julie Fisk. For the news, I'm Anna Butler. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Eat, Drink, DFW from the Dallas Morning News is made possible by Central Market.